Well, if you're like me, you probably have a ton of leftovers in your refrigerator and you're just trying to figure out what to do with them. I've got the perfect recipe for you. It is called leftover frittata. Today I'm using leftover steak that I had in my refrigerator, but you can use whatever protein you want. Let's get to cooking. Check out my refrigerator. I have all these leftover vegetables throughout the week and I love to be able to use them up and not let them go to waste. So what we're gonna do is we're going to chop up these vegetables and use this leftover steak. I've got some green peppers, some yellow peppers, just some medley, and some green onions are even in there. I've even got some squash and zucchini. So we're gonna preheat your griddle behind me, a little bit of olive oil, toss on those veggies, some salt and pepper. While the veggies are sauteing, we're gonna get to cracking on the eggs. Now, you're really only gonna need about 6 eggs, depending on what size of frittata you want, but we're going to go ahead and crack these in a medium-sized bowl. We want a medium-sized bowl simply because we have so many vegetables we're gonna put in here. So you're gonna whisk the eggs first, and then you're gonna add all the veggies, and then we can't forget the cheese. And we're gonna whisk. Now that we're done whisking, we're gonna add our seasonings. Now, earlier you saw me use that half and half, and I just wanna point out that's what gives it the fluffiness in the frittata. So don't miss out on that key ingredient. But hey, if you've got whole milk, you've got heavy cream, you can certainly do that as well. Whatever you have in your fridge, remember, this is all about the leftovers, y'all. Now that we're done whisking, I'm smelling those vegetables. You know what, these are done. Let's go ahead and slide them off to the side. That's cool. Alrighty. We've got our steak here, and I'm just gonna quickly slice it up. I like to do it in smaller pieces so you don't have a giant bite in your frittata. This leftover steak came from a beef and blue salad I did just a couple of days ago, and I had this beautiful piece of meat left, and it wasn't big enough for a whole family to eat. It was just perfect size for something like this frittata. Remember, any protein you have in your refrigerator will go perfect in this recipe. Also note, you see me getting rid of that fat here. I mean, some people love a little bit of fat on their steak, but for me, it just doesn't taste very good in a frittata, so I'll just simply chop it off of the side. Don't forget, you're gonna wanna do some bite-sized pieces. That is key if you are doing any type of protein like steak or chicken. Now that we've got the steak all chopped up, we are simply going to just add it in the bowl. We're also gonna add those veggies in, and just for today, because why not? I had leftovers in the pantry. I've got some already chopped bacon. It's always so good to add. Let's head on over to the griddle. Now that it's all in the bowl, all we have to do is add our cheese. You can't forget the cheese. Whatever cheese you have in your refrigerator, because remember, it's all about the leftovers. Probably gonna add about half a cup of cheese. You can always add more at the end if you want. Quickly gonna whisk this all together. Now I've already preheated my griddle. I actually have it on low. You wanna cook your frittata on low so it doesn't cook the outside first and it doesn't completely cook in the inside. I'm gonna take this neat little omelet maker or frittata maker. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. I'm gonna set this down. That is in the center is gonna be where all these goodies go. Like I said, it's gonna need a few minutes, so you want to use a dome with this. The dome is going to cook that top and use it like an oven. You're gonna need some water when you do this. And 5 minutes later, we're gonna go check on that and it should be ready to eat. Remember when I said it would take about 5 minutes for this frittata to cook? It actually ended up being more like 20 minutes because I made a really big frittata. Obviously, depending on what you guys use inside, however many vegetables, however many eggs, the timing of the cooking will change. Now what I did was I added a lot of water and I put a dome over it, really just to cook the top of that. And then I slid it off to the side where it's the cool part of the griddle took off the heat because I didn't want the bottom of that frittata to burn. I brought it over to this cutting board and I'm just going to let it sit for probably about 10 minutes before I start cutting into it. Now, I'm just gonna take my knife here and I'm gonna go around the rim of the stainless here, and then I'm just gonna kind of shimmy it on out there, and oh man, look at that. Looks divine. All right, we've got to taste this baby. Take my fork here. I'm gonna get a good bite. See, it's so crispy at the bottom and it's still moist in the inside. Look at that bite. Here we go. By the way, I love some hot sauce on my frittata. I'm gonna do another bite. Now, you can use whatever hot sauce you want to. You can even add extra steak seasoning if you wanted to, but this doesn't need it. Oh, it's so good. This could have been way quicker than it actually took to cook, but that's because I've made the most giant frittata in the world. But hey, you know what? We use those leftovers up. Most importantly, we always want to keep it simple, keep it quick, and keep it delicious. My name's Taylor Mock, and I'll see you on the next episode.